On today's show, Mark and I leave the confines of our studio and take a trip north to LA. Just off a stretch of highway amidst dams and rock quarries lies an 8th-mile drag strip and a half-mile oval track. What now goes by the name of Irwindale Event Center used to be home to the Toyota All-Star Showdown, where the biggest names in NASCAR would come together for a sort of, Pro Bowl of racing.
That all started when Ron Johnson didn't get back in the gas on the outside, and it was the accordion effect. Look at the carnage of cars we've got up on the pit wall.
The showdown lasted only a few years, and after an ownership change for the event center, they're back. They're not only hosting NASCAR events, but everything from drag racing and drifting to skid plate races and demolition derbies. As for our trip today, Amber and I are keeping it simple.
I know why it's 20 laps now. Because after 20, you really want to go faster.
Hosted by LA Racing, we have the incredible opportunity to get behind the wheel of a few super late model stock cars and stretch our legs.
Now, we'd be remiss if we didn't invite a guest out to help us along the way. So to give us a few insider tips, we've enlisted the help of racing legend Boris Said.
Most people, when they get stopped for speeding, I don't know why you stopped.
You're like, yes, I was going 120 in, 45. I apologize.
I wasn't paying attention. I am sorry.
As the only American to win the 24 Hours Nürburgring, as well as several other titles and a history of spanning everything from the NASCAR Sprint Cup to the Baja 1000, it's safe to say that Boris knows his way around a track.
We'll sit down today and chat with Boris about what's going on in his life, and then head inside to the classroom to learn the ropes, or maybe I should say the strings of racing these super late models.
Think of a string attached to the palm of your right hand to the ball of your right foot on top of the gas pedal.
Then Boris, Amber, and I will get suited up and hit the asphalt for 20 exhilarating laps around this short track. Stick around. This is one episode you do not want to miss.
Open it up right there, right there. There you go.
Watching Overdrive San Diego, and we're here at the Irwindale Event Center. Amber Mesker, Mark Maynard, the man, the myth, the legend, Boris Said. What's going on?
Not much. How are you doing?
Doing well. We're doing good. We're happy to be here.
It's good to be here. We're at a racetrack.
I know.
It doesn't get better than that.
I know. It's great.
We love the smell of race fuel in the morning.
Exactly.
Yes, we do. So Boris, before we get started, we're gonna have a ton of questions for you, but let's get started. For those, who may not know you, which I doubt that's the case, tell us a little bit about how you got started in your career.
Well, I got started very late in life. I went to a driving school when I saw my first car race at 24, started racing when I was 25. This is my 26th year racing, so that gives away I'm 50 now. And I've raced everything all around the world, from NASCAR to sports cars, a long career with BMW, Trans Am champion. I have poles in NASCAR nationwide wins, truck wins, and I love the sport.
Yeah.
It's great. And now I've kind of evolved. I opened a BMW dealer a year and a half ago, first new BMW dealer in over 11 years.
Yeah.
And I'm having fun with that. It's something to do when I finally retire someday.
Right.
I'm involved in K1 Speed, which is an indoor go-kart track company, and we have 15
we love
locations.
It. Yeah, we love that
and
place.
And we're constantly adding new ones, so our growth is really good right now.
Yeah.
And I'm just loving life. I got a great wife and a 9-year-old son, Boris, at home, and I still get to go racing every weekend, and couldn't get better.
I know. Yeah. I love your life. I'm listening to you. I want that. Glad we're here training. You never know.
Yeah, and now we hear that music at race cars.
I know. It's music's your use for sure.
Exactly.
So, Boris, tell us what you've been up to.
I'm going to do the whole Grand Am series in a Wheeling Corvette. I'm going to do the NASCAR road races. A year and a half ago, I opened a BMW dealer in Marietta, California, with Rick Hendrick. So I've been really busy having a real job. You know, I put on a little suit and sell cars.
How do you like that?
I like it actually. It's something new. I love cars. I love BMW, and so dealing with the people it's been a challenge, but it's a lot of fun for me. Something new. Something to do when I quit racing.
You need to, let's talk a little bit about your dealership, because you guys are doing very, very well. First year, you know, year and 8 months, right?
Yeah, we're a year and 8 months. We became the first dealer in the history of BMW to make Center of Excellence their first year in business. And what that is, it recognizes the top 10% of all BMW dealers. So pretty proud of that.
That's amazing. Excellent. Yeah, it's very cool. And Australia in the future, right? Got that coming up?
Yeah, we go to Australia in a couple weeks for a BMW trip, but also in the fall I always go to Australia to race the V8 supercars at Surfers Paradise, which is a lot of fun. Crazy road racing.
Boris, I love your life. I do.
You know,
Do you get speeding tickets very often or not really?
I don't, and it makes my wife so mad.
Because she does?
She does. She gets them for everything, and I don't get them for anything. And I get pulled over every once in a while, but I'm a very honest guy when I get pulled over, and I get let off.
You're like, yeah, I'm a race car driver.
No, I never say that. I just tell them exactly how fast I was going. Most people, when they get stopped for speeding, I don't know why you stopped.
You're like, yes, I was going 120 in 45. I apologize.
I wasn't paying attention. I am sorry.
But you know, getting on a track, you're not trying to see what the car will do. You know what the car will do. You don't need to take chances because you got a reason to be home every night.
Yeah, but I still don't condone speeding. You know, the toughest thing about racing, and I'll give you an example. At Talladega, you're sitting there going 190 all day long for 4 hours, and then you have to drive to the airport. And you get on the highway and you're going 7, you're like, I'm stopped.
Yeah.
That really takes a lot of self-control.
Hard to get used to,
because you're like, I'm stopped and I need to get to the airport. So it's really hard.
Oh, man.
You just get used to it.
100 miles an hour seems normal.
Do you have any tips for Mark and I today? As we're going around, we're competing against each other?
See, I don't know your strengths and weaknesses yet, but I am going to tell you as I see it. As I see it happen, I'm going to give you a little advice.
Okay. Excellent.
Might make fun of you a little bit.
Not a problem. Mostly Mark, please.
But you could be the next Danica Patrick. I don't know that.
Yeah. That would be great. I would love it. I mean, have GoDaddy sponsor me. That would be fantastic.
Perfect. I mean, she is a driver.
She is a driver.
Some people don't know this. Danica and I were going to be teammates in, I think, 2002. And we actually met and tested. Our first real paid ride was with BMW. And then unfortunately that year, the car wasn't allowed to race and the whole thing broke up. But I mean, I remember meeting her and seeing her, and she's a good friend of mine. I think she's great. I'm a big Danica fan. And she's the real deal. I mean, that girl can drive. I mean, she's under a lot of scrutiny, you know, because everyone wants her to win every race. And right now in NASCAR, Sprint Cup,
she's a star in kind of a man's world. It's great what she's doing for women.
Unbelievable, and she did it all herself. I mean, there's a young girl that went to Europe and raced on her own. I mean, most guys wouldn't do that when they're 20s, right? She did that when she was in her teens. So yeah, it's pretty amazing what she's accomplished.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what she's going to accomplish.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree.
Danica Mesker.
I have a Danica t-shirt.
Such a good ring to it, you know? All right, guys. Let's get racing, shall we?
Suited up.
Let's get suited up. We've got Boris here. He's going to give us plenty of tips, mostly me. I'd like to win, if you don't mind.
It depends if you give me a little extra.
All right, fine.
I'll take bribes.
Don't worry. All right, so stay with us. We were watching Overdrive San Diego. Before Mark and I can even think about getting on the track, we have to go through an extensive training course where course instructor Doug Cummins will give us step-by-step instructions to not only drive around this track, but drive it well.
Here's what's going to happen today. You're going to drive a super late model car. This is like the old Winston West or Southwest Tour car, 500 horsepower car, approximately 2,500 pounds. We will put 4 of you on track at the same time, and through radio communication, we're going to let you pass. So our communication is probably not as sophisticated as yours, but we're going to talk to you through some earbuds. Now, you guys are actually sitting on the northwest side of our track, and the way we look at the track is through our spotter's eyes. Our spotters are going to communicate with you today. You must trust those spotters. So the way we look at this track, just to give you some visual reference, you're on the northwest side of the track. This is turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, and turn 4. It looks like 2 turns to you, but in racing it's considered 4 turns. So when you drive this track, there's more steering input you're going to have to put through in turns 3 and 4. It's just a tighter radius. All right, so just be aware of it. Think like a paper clip, wider on one side, narrower on the other side. Okay? Now, we have a flagger in the crow's nest at the start-finish line. If you cannot see our flagger today, that's okay. There's digital lights all the way around the outside of the track and on the inside third mile portion of the track. They're going to correspond with the flag conditions. They're very simple. Yellow, caution. Your speeds are 25 to 35 miles an hour. Green flag racing, we're going to count your 20-lap adventure. If there's a red flag, all drivers must come to a stop. That way we can assist that driver or correct any issues that are on track. And I'll tell you the difference between those red flags once we get to flags in depth in just a moment. There's a checkered flag, and that's going to end your racing session today. Now the track, this track is banked. It's known as progressive banking. It gets steeper as it goes up the track. So it starts down at lane 1, the solid white line on this track. It's 6 degrees banking. It goes up to 9 degrees banking below the dashed or dotted white line. And above it, it's 12 degrees banking. What I need you to do in class today is I need you to straddle this line. Straddle this line. This means left front tire at 9 degrees banking, right front tire at 12 degrees banking. Now we have 6 points to cover. I'll go through them quickly and I'm going to release you out to the track and we're going to put you in groups of 4. The first point we're going to make today is called speed control. Speed control means to you is please drive fast, drive hard, but don't drive above your skill set, all right? Second point we're going to make today is communication. It is known in racing today here, one-way communication. We talk to you, you can't talk back to us. Now, as we get on track, please keep about a 4 to 5 car lengths distance between you and the car in front of you. This will be the pacing we're going to start off with. Learn to straddle this line. Get used to your car. Each car is just a little different, so get used to where your brake is and your accelerator for your particular car. In some cases, they're very close together. Don't think you're stepping on the brake and you're actually stepping on the accelerator. So build some muscle memory before we go green flag racing, the distance between the two of them. As you get used to the car, it's important that you learn this race line, the brake and the accelerator, but also it's good to have hand positioning on the steering wheel. Today, because this is a short track, I need your hands on the steering wheel at 10 o'clock with your left hand and 3 o'clock with your right hand. This will allow you to rotate and turn the wheel freely to the left. After we've done a couple laps of caution, getting used to the brake and the accelerator and the steering input and scrubbing in the tires, we're going to turn out those digital lights and we simply go green flag racing. And we say green, 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 green. Let's go racing, boys and girls. We're going to start counting your 20-lap adventure. The key here, do not go out on your very first green flag lap and do it as your hot lap. So that's green flag racing. Now we talked about a red flag. One way to get a red flag is you can't hear. If you can't hear, you're going to take the initiative, come off straddling this line, bring the car into the third mile, just come to a stop. We'll say car 78's in the infield, we have communication problems. Wherever you are, simply just bring your car to a stop on the track. We'll come out and assist that driver. That's called a communication red flag. We'll assist that driver and correct the problem. There's a second red flag that's potentially could happen. We had one today. It was known as a situational red flag. There's debris, fuel, accident, spit out on track. Imagine if there was an accident, spin out, or debris on the track, and it's over here in turn 4. If you're doing 120 miles an hour at the threshold braking point in turn 3, and we say spin out, debris, something in turn 4, this is how quickly it takes you to reach this point to this point on track today. Ready? 1, 2, 3 seconds, and you're there. When we say red flag on the track, spin out turn 4, debris in turn 4, straddle this line, come to a stop as quickly as you can. You can go from 120 down to 0 in less than 4 seconds. They're huge Wilwood brakes. There are no ABS brakes. I don't care if you lock them up, you're not going to slide out into the wall. All right? Just get that car stopped as safely as you can. It's very important too. You might see this debris and you might think, well, I can get around it. And you'll cheat up high, but you're going to force yourself up into that gray area of the track where the marbles are, and that's how we wrecked a car today. Somebody came in too hot, got up high, the car pushed and hit the wall and scraped off the right side of the car. All right. Final flag you may see today, you will see today, is the checkered flag. It sounds like this. Car number 3, that's your checker. Race on through. Car number 5, that's your checker. Race right on through. Once you get your checkered flag, those digital lights will go back off, fire off in the yellow color, and we go back to caution speeds. All right, we're gonna let you pass today. Passing is allowed, it's part of the fun. Let's say you 3 are on track, and let's say you're the slowest driver, not that you would be the slowest driver, we're gonna let you pass. The way we initiate a pass is very simple out here. Let's say you're on track, you're in car 48. What we're gonna tell you to do is to go down on the track. So here's how a pass sounds. 48 down to the inside line. 1 car pass coming up is what you're gonna hear. If you're coming up behind him and you're in car number 7, you're gonna remember your car number, but you're gonna remember his car number too, because you're gunning for him. You want bragging rights. He's gonna be buying you beers tonight, right? 48 down to the inside line. 1 car pass coming up. Car 7, wait for it, clear car 7 for a 1 car pass. Go right around him. Do not pass until you get the clearance to pass. What it may look like to you is the parting of the Red Sea. Pharaoh is chasing you and you're trying to get to the promised land. Don't do it. You need to bite your lip for just a second, your tongue, whatever. We need to get race line control out of 48 before we send you around. Now, next concept we're going to talk about today is throttle management. I want you to think of an egg, first of all. Place the egg between the ball of your right foot on top of the gas pedal. The key here, do not crush that imaginary egg. Roll on the throttle, roll off the throttle, you'll squeeze the brake. If you watch the telemetry in these cars, they're 100% throttle, 0 throttle, and a little bit of braking. The second thing you can do to get throttle control and throttle management today is called the string technique. Think of a string attached to the palm of your right hand to the ball of your right foot on top of the gas pedal. Envision this imaginary string building some slack in it, allowing you to rotate and turn the wheel to the left. As you accelerate out of turns 2 and 4, you'll roll on the throttle, the foot goes down, it takes the string and unwinds the steering wheel. String unwind. Next thing we're going to talk about is braking. So braking is not to slow the car down, it's the set way. Here's why. Go, 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 go. Lift. Braking begins, set the nose down. That's why we brake on this particular track. There are 2 terms used in braking. Every day you've been driving, you trail brake. If you trail brake this track, your braking action happens here in turn 1 or over here in turn 3. Now there's another feature on this track. You're braking and steering at the same time, 2 things at once. All right, it's called threshold braking. Threshold braking is straight line braking. You're just simply gently setting the nose down right here in turn 1 or right here in turn 3. If you threshold brake this track, it gives you an advantage. It gives you a term in racing known as entry speed. And every turn you take, you need to have good entry speed. Good entry speed equals great cornering speed. Great cornering speed equals superior exit speed. If you want to win in racing, it's all about the exit speed. You set somebody up, you draft them, and you slingshot around for the win. So the final secret I'm going to give you is how to run a lap around this track. You ready? It's like rolling on the throttle, full throttle. Roll off the throttle, squeeze the brake, and rotate. Roll on the throttle, roll off the throttle, squeeze the brake, and rotate. And if you do this right, you can really get around the track really fast.
Doug's 6 points are now ingrained in the heads of Amber and me. The anticipation is mounting as the whole time we've been sitting here, we can fairly hear the roaring of the cars outside the window. Boris, Amber, and I have sat through class to get the ins and outs of how this track operates and how to drive effectively on it. And now it's time to execute. Our teacher spent ample time to let us know the many dangers we could encounter, but he also told us to go fast. That's what we plan to do. But first, we need to get suited up and in the proper protocol.
48? 48. Hold on. 21. Danica!
You're going to want to take them off. Not after this.
Make sure you get a bunch of her hair in there.
Yeah.
Pull it off.
Yank it off.
So she can bag. Go out the liquor store. Fashion statement. Great.
I'm going to tape up your helmet. Second? Okay.
Now that we're geared up in this fine-fitting driving suit, we head to our cars with no doors that open. Boris helping Amber, she slinks right into the car. And of course, Boris has no trouble stepping in the car either.
Go ahead and swing the other one. Now watch your knees and your head as you slide. Okay.
I, on the other hand, have more of a reach. And after a little hand from the big guy on the track, I'm seated and ready to rock.
Stuck on the arm. Oh, there you go. There.
Alrighty, so once they go ahead and get off track, well, I believe we're already starting, so go ahead and fire up the vehicle for me. Go through the battery first. There you go. Okay, go ahead and go to the toggle switches. And hold on to that start button until it fires, okay? The black button, go ahead and press it. There you go, okay. Just yet, okay? I gotta pull your lap band from the other side to make sure it's straight.
With the lights flashing yellow, we can only go 25 to 30 around the track, which gives us time to feel out the basics of how the car runs and how the tower communicates with us.
All right, drivers, get up to the race line, up to the race line. At 48, hand out the window if you understand me. Gotcha, buddy. And 21, hand out the window. Gotcha, buddy. All right, 48 and 21. It's probably better that you have a bigger gap. I'm pretty sure it's not gonna take off as fast. So the bigger gap, the better. You can at least get into some sort of rhythm before you run up on a car. Use that straightaway to gain your momentum, especially U48. Get on it, go in there. When you come up to that corner, you're going to be off the gas, but you still want to have that momentum to carry you through that corner. And you're going to get it by opening up down that straightaway. Now, I will help you out individually as long as you can hold that line. We'll never ask you to drive risky or on the edge or push the car to its max potential. At the same time, I want you to have fun out there. I want you to get going. Alright? 48, let's open up a bigger gap for me. 48. A little too close. I'm going to try to get the cars in the front to actually pick it up. Make it a little easier. Bring it down on that line, 48. Bring it down on that line. Alright, drivers. Get familiar with that line right now, that runner caution. When we go green, this is where we want to run. I do know that some of you have a lot more experience than others. We're just trying to keep it safe for everybody. So drivers, if I ask you to move down, it's because another car is coming up for a pass. Once you move down, wait till I clear you to move back up. If you're the person actually making the pass, even if you see the car move down in front of you, wait until I clear you to make that pass. Alright, 48, don't make this pass for me. This car's going to go up. And the bigger the gap you have in front of this car is, the better. Ready. Green, green, green. Green flag. Pick it up. We're green.
All the kinks are worked out, our eyes are comfortable on the track, and our lines are worked out. We've taken our class, we've warmed up, and now my foot is starting to itch. When you're sitting on the infield waiting to go, there's this feeling of claustrophobia. But once you hit the first turn, all feels right. The spotter switches out the yellow flag for the green, and I am ready to rock.
Ready. Green, green, green. Green flag. Pick it up. We're green. And go ahead, 48. Make the pass. Get by him, 48. Get by him. Get by him, 48. Get by him. And 48 to the bottom. 48 to the bottom. And 48, you're clear. 48, you're clear. Get up there. Good job, buddy. Good job. Down, 48 car down. Thank you. Go ahead, 21. Go ahead, 21. Stay down, 48. 48 clear. 48, you're clear. Hey, get by him, 21. Get by him. Open it up right there. Keep it going, 48. Keep it going, 48. There you go, 21. Keep it up, buddy. Keep it up. And 21, clear for the pass. 21, clear for the pass. Go ahead, 48. Go ahead, 48. And 21, clear for the pass. Open it up, 48. Open it up, 48. Use up that straightaway. Clear for the pass, 21. Clear for the pass. I was kind of heavy on the brakes, buddy. I was heavy on the brakes. You don't need to use it that much. Keep it going, 48. Keep it going, 48. There you go, 21. 48 to the bottom. 48 to the bottom. Go ahead, 21. Make the pass. Make the pass. Up, buddy. 48, you're clear. 48, you're clear. There you go. Roll on it, 21. Roll on it. Open it up. Open it up. Keep it going. Keep it going. Make the pass. Make the pass. There you go, 21. Go ahead, 48. Make the pass, 48. Full throttle, 48. Keep it going, keep it going. And 21, make the pass, make the pass. Good job, 48. Turn it, buddy, turn it, turn it, turn it. Go ahead, 48, make the pass. 48, make the pass. Right there, 21, roll on it, buddy, roll on it. Open it up right there. There you go, buddy, there you go. Turn it, give it gas, open it up, open it up. There you go. Roll on it, 21. Roll on it. Open it up, buddy. Open it up. There you go. Now you're starting to drive it in there, buddy. And you're clear for the pass. You're clear for the pass. Go ahead, get by him, 21. Get by him. Open it up right there. Keep it going, 48. Keep it going, 48. Turn it, 48. Turn it. Running high, buddy. Running high. 21, coming to the checkers, buddy. Checker flag. Good job. Keep it coming, 48. Keep it coming. Turn it. Give it gas, 48. Open it up, buddy. Full throttle. Full throttle. Checker flag. Good job. Caution's out. Caution's out. Good job, Travis. Good job. And don't pass, 48. Don't pass.
20 laps feels like 2 as the checkered flag is flown. Amber, Boris, and I make our way to the infield to reconvene on solid ground.
I was a little slow out there.
I wish everybody would set up and
That's exhilarating.
That was amazing. I'm a little slower than Boris, just a little bit. I think Mark even beat me. That really pisses me off. That was amazing. You can check that off of your, to-do list for your life. Race car. Awesome. So awesome.
Yeah. That's so cool. One of the best things that they didn't mention in that course is that in driving classes they're always telling you to look through the turns. Okay, that was what saved me every time, because you come into that, it's like until you look and follow the curve.
You always look where you want to go. How many times in racing you see when one guy crashes like in turn 1, he slides off, and the next guy follows him right in?
Yeah.
Right. So we call it a sympathy spin, because he's looking at the guy and then he misses it and loses it.
Yeah.
His eyes are like whoa, whoa, whoa.
Yeah.
Instead of looking where you want to go.
Yeah. These guys are great, talking you through. I love the that narration. It's like having a driver, with you.
You didn't tell me anything.
I don't think anyone would want
get
to.
off the brakes. Get off the brakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The trust you need. When you're going like at Talladega and you're 3 and 4 wide. I mean, you're 2 wide and you're running, and all of a sudden your spotter goes 3 wide in the middle, and your hands will tighten up a little bit. And then all of a sudden you're going and you're trying to save room. Then all of a sudden it goes 4 wide, and your hands like tighten up, and you see your knuckles. And he's like 3 wide, and you kind of all right, loosened up. And you're trusting everything he says. Sometimes you're putting in the holes that you can't believe. Clear high, and you just go.
Oh my God, you guys. You're way faster. Now, Boris, of course, understandably, you're going to be way fast. But Mark, you surprised me.
I know why it's 20 laps now, because after that, then you really want to go fast. So they keep it down, keep the damage down.
That was so much fun. I have a new just appreciation for what you do. The fact that we did, 7 to 10 laps,
It's work,
right?
man.
Yeah, I mean,
And
if you have to go
how many?
500 laps with 39 other people, so it's a little bit of work.
Unbelievable. And every time you guys were passing me, yes, I hate to admit you guys were passing me, it's a little nerve-wracking because you've got these speeding cars coming past you. I don't know how you do it.
It's just what we do. It's fun.
The people, giving you, voice through the ears, awesome. Guiding you through that.
I loved it.
All the support help here got me into the car. It's amazing.
I think you were possessed by Jimmy Johnson in the 48 car. Gave you a little speed. You're channeling it.
I tried to keep thinking Danica, but I'm sorry, Danica. You're amazing. Definitely.
Yeah, no, that was cool. And what a thrill to be with you in a race car on the same track. So that's awesome.
It was great fun.
You're a champ.
Okay, we're gonna let our at least my heartbeat go down just a little bit while we go to a commercial break. So stay with us. You're watching Overdrive San Diego. All right, it's official. We graduated.
Yeah.
We did it. This is going on the fridge. I don't know about you.
I'm framing it and hanging it up.
What about, where's yours, Boris?
They didn't give me one.
You failed. Well,
Didn't go fast enough.
Yeah, exactly. All right, this has been an amazing day. What a fun time. We just want to say thank you to Irwindale Event Center. What a blast.
Doug Stokes, PR guy here, is fabulous. Thank you to the LA Racing Experience for tolerating me on this track. Your crew is awesome.
And Boris Said, thank you
welcome.
for coming down with the little people and racing with us.
No, it's not that little.
That's true.
It's their shoulders. And BMW of Murrieta, awesome.
Yeah, they let me out today.
Yeah,
so.
the play.
You got the day off.
BMW, come see me.
Yes, go see him. See, he'll give you a deal. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. We will see you next weekend for Overdrive San Diego.
Head first.
Pushing out.
Yeah, head first.
Oh, we could have brought up the camera down here.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you think about it?
A helper.
There you go. Get your leg up under on your seat. There you go. One more big push. There you go.
It's not easy. It's not easy getting out of one of these things.
That's why racing is for young fellas.
So we left leg out first.
We have an EMT to help you out of the car. So. You're running right along.
There you go. How was it? Fun?
Thank you. That was really
Thanks for
good.
coming out.
I couldn't have done it without him.
Hi, I'm UT photojournalist Howard Lippin, and here are some of the highlights from the last weekend photos captured by the UT San Diego staff. Hayne Palmer made really cool photos of slackliners enjoying themselves in Encinitas, and down the coast in La Jolla, Sean Haffey was busy photographing spring breakers enjoying the surf. Charlie Newman was at it again in San Marcos shooting photos of the Lions Invitational Baseball Tournament, and the wind was at her back as Peggy Petey shot a wonderful photo of young kite flyers and their dragon kite at Mission Bay Park. Charlie Newman captured Heather Jackson as she won the Accenture Ironman Triathlon in Oceanside, and Ernie Grafton shot a really cool photo of a red-tailed hawk as it took flight from the California Tower in Balboa Park. James Gregg shot this really nice, moody photo of UFC bantamweight boxer Mike Easton warming up in Chula Vista as part of his preparation for a bout in Stockholm, Sweden. And you can see the anticipation in the faces of contestants in Nell Cepeda's photo of countrywide spelling bee contestants as they wait for the final round to begin. Don Boomer captured Pastor Bill Gregory as he looked skyward during an Eastern sunrise service in Marietta. Nell Cepeda made a lovely photo of a little girl as she picked up eggs during an Easter egg hunt at the Joan Kroc Center. And to round out the week, I photographed the annual Walk with the Suffering Station at the Cross in downtown San Diego. I am Howard Lippin.